Hey guys, Michael here. Hope that you're all doing well. So now that I'm back into doing a Let's Play series, and in fact I'm about to start a second one as well, I'm not going to go back to the old days of doing 4 campaigns at the same time, but I think I can handle 2 campaigns at the same time moving forward. Hopefully I should have a little bit of extra time here on my schedule in the near future. But anyway, now that I'm back to doing these, I'm reminded of just how much I enjoy these. I don't mind doing, in fact I quite enjoy doing the mod review videos and those types of things, some of the philosophical type videos that I do every once in a while. But these are still my favorite ones to do, these Let's Plays. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump back into this campaign, this low-tier campaign. So we did, in the previous episode, take Bai Chai here, and we also wiped out the main enemy army out here in the water. And if we take a look at their faction strength, I think they are already starting to build back a little bit, but obviously they're still quite a bit weaker than we are. I think we can probably anticipate that their main army is down here in Fu Chao, but we do have this neutral third-party army bearing down on Chimai, which is where I was headed with Lokir. So we're going to wait and see what they do, but these two are at war. This is, of course, the Eastern River Lords. They are at war with the Dead Flag Fleet as well, and so it's extremely likely that they're going to beat us to the punch and take this settlement first. If they do, we'll have a decision to make about whether we want to declare war on them and try to take it from them, or alternatively just reroute our main thrust to come down in this direction instead of coming over here for now. So we'll kind of play it by ear, but I think we're going to get started here with an end turn. I'm also going to take yes, actually you right here, Admiral Yin, okay, right here. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple more name changes, again, to show my appreciation for the people who support this channel. By the way, not quite yet, but at some point this campaign will be moved from the main channel where publicly everybody can see it to being private, where only the people who are still interested in it basically will have access to it. So the way that I'm going to make that available to everybody is if you're either a member of this channel or if you support me on Patreon, I will make sure that you get a link to those private videos. Again, not quite yet, but in the near future, I'll start moving them over to there. And I don't want to make it behind a paywall, so if you are willing to sign up and support me on Patreon, you can do so for free, and I will still make sure that you get the links to those videos. Okay, anyway, back to the action here. So let's again take Admiral Kagarosh here. You are no longer Admiral Kagarosh. You are now, rename, you're going to be Doyle. You're now Admiral Doyle. And then we're going to take our Black Ark Reaver right here. You are going to be renamed to be... Okay, I'm trying to remember now. Quick pause while I check my notes. Zerdan Daith is you. Okay, so we have our Black Ark Reaver here, who is going to come down and join Lokir's army as soon as I can get him down there. And then we have... where are you at? We have Admiral Yin right here, who is going to be our main, our primary Black Ark for now. And meanwhile, we will get Admiral Doyle built up in the near future. Okay, so I think we've got everything all ready to go here for the end turn. I'm just refreshing my memory here on the random campaign and battle effects. We've got recruitment. Yeah, I can't take advantage of that. And we've got a leadership of -25, but I don't think we have any battles that are coming up, so no reason to worry about that too much. All right, let's go ahead, do our research here. We have these obsidian crow's nests, which is what gave us the +2 recruit rank for the Black Ark Reaver that we just recruited. I don't I mean, these are all good, but I don't necessarily want to wait 8 turns for my next technology. So I think maybe this might be the time to go ahead and do a meager offering. This is going to give our army ability of bloody sacrifice that we may or may not use depending on how many slaves we have whenever we're fighting battles. But it's also going to unlock additional effects for the barracks chain, give us a little bit of a charge bonus, but moreover, it's going to unlock some of these other technologies as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's 1,000 of our slaves, so we're back down to only 400, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and do our intern. Gives me a chance to take a sip of coffee here. My last remaining vice. All right, so here we go. They are not encircling yet. Maybe they just didn't have the movement for it. And now we can see the main army for the Dead Flag Fleet. I will go ahead and mention this now, but I'm going to mention it in my review of the SFO video that I'm going to do at some point here in the near future. This is interesting. Godly wrath. The gods of your enemies have directly intervened in our interests, sowing destruction across our realm. How do we confront a god's wrath? It's just an unhappy populace. We can live with that. Yeah, so the SFO settings right here. We've got the health replenishment set at 10%, which is the SFO way of handling what we in non-SFO campaigns can do with other mods like War of Attrition, which is one of my favorite mods. So those all reduce replenishment to be what I feel is more realistic, more immersive, and most importantly, functionally, they make your game, how can I put this? They make your strategic performance more impactful, meaning you have to really be careful with the casualties that you suffer, or else it will really slow down your ability to, to continue to keep launching offensive after offensive and things like that, or even to just defend yourself after a particularly big battle. So I really like the replenishment when it's reduced from what it is in vanilla. Well, SFO gives us that option, and as we can see, we've reduced it by 10%, but unfortunately, I like the way that it works in those other mods better than how it works in SFO. With SFO, that's a flat, that's like a 10% reduction off of every army's replenishment before you even take into consideration then any of these other replenishment modifiers. So for example, I'm not sure if low-key or Elven Healing, for example. We've got this casualty replenishment rate plus 2%. So if we had this, if we leveled this all the way up to 6%, in combination with this minus 10% that we get with SFO, we're still at minus 4% replenishment. We would still not replenishment without other factors coming to play in the way that SFO does it. I personally prefer the way that mods like Reduced Replenishment or War of Attrition work, which is they go in to these different effects, like your skill effects, your technology effects, things like that, and they cut all of these in half. So they still have some benefit. You still want to take them, but you aren't running into a situation where you're just getting like what we see right here. We're in our own territory and we're getting absolutely zero replenishment. So to me, this is punishing in an unrealistic way, and it's, again, just, enough said for now. I just prefer the way that the other replenishment mods work, but they might even be compatible with SFO. We could consider turning this health replenishment off, in other words, changing it back to normal, to 0%, and incorporating some of those other mods. But they probably are not compatible because, to the best of my knowledge, those modders have to actually go in and identify every place in the game where replenishment is reduced or I'm sorry, where replenishment is increased, and they have to go in and change those numbers individually. So yeah, pretty tedious, and it also does limit the compatibility with the other mods that do things like change existing characters or change existing technologies or skill trees or add new units or heroes or whatever. All right, anyway, sorry, I lingered on that a little bit longer than I intended to, but we're going to go ahead and continue down this way, I suppose. We'll keep an eye here on this enemy army, but if we wanted to come in this direction, we're looking at probably 3 turns minimum. You know what? We might do it anyway. If we just want to assume that the Eastern River Lords here are going to take Shamai, then maybe we just go ahead and take the fastest approach down here to Fu Chao. And that puts this army right here in a position where he doesn't know which direction to go. Does he come over this way to try to protect himself from this assault? Probably not. Probably because of anti-player bias, he'll come up this way to try to block us. That's my main reason why I wouldn't want to do this. But if we go in march stance, well, we still can't even get across the river. But it would be, yeah, it would be 3 turns before we would be able to attack down here. And we would suffer attrition along the way. What we really need to do is get into the water where we're not suffering attrition. Let's try that. Okay. We're not getting replenishment, but at least we're not getting attrition down here. And then we'll go ahead and move, since we've conveniently moved ourselves closer to him. We'll go ahead and move Zerdin into Lokir's army. That is not... Michael, you dummy. That's okay. I can do it like this.
Anchors away.
Hopefully I can do it like this. Can I exchange this unit? Yes, I can. Okay. All right, so kind of the long about way of doing that, but excuse me, roundabout way of doing that. Let's go full speed back into
dry land.
Bai Chai.
Tyrant of Nagaroth.
And then we're going to take Admiral Yin, who did get a level here.
Lord of the Black.
We'll give you... I don't really value Lightning Strike for Black Arcs as much as I do for land generals. So let's go ahead and start doing the red line. And we're going to go full speed for you as well and move you down and have you transfer some units into Lokir's army. Or alternatively, yeah, we'll transfer them into Lokir's army, and we'll bring some of these Dread Spears out. I think that works for me. Look at minus 50. It says technology minus 50. Why are we losing 50 Winds of Magic? Oh, it's got to be this up here. Yep, right there. Random campaign technologies. Okay, so when we hover over it, it reads technology minus 50, but it's actually not technology. It's this random campaign condition. So, wow, look at that. Minus 200 in enemy provinces where an army is present. Holy cow. That's pure negative right there for that random campaign condition. And that does mean that this right here, okay, for some reason, SFO, I do not understand. I don't understand why you're not working. I love SFO, but sometimes I do find these really strange things like this where it doesn't seem to work as intended. The way that I interpret this is control should be minus 200 anywhere where there is an army present. Control minus 200 in enemy provinces where an army is present. Well, this is an enemy province, and it doesn't say friendly army or enemy army. It just says army. But either way, it doesn't matter because there's a friendly army right there, And there's an enemy army right there, and despite that, they are not receiving the minus 200. That makes me think this might be player only, which is not the way these are supposed to work, or alternatively, it might just be broken. All right, anyway, it's not a big deal, but it does make me scratch my head a little bit. Then we have speed plus 100% in battle, but of course we're not having a battle, and we're not likely to have one over the end turn. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of money here. We could go ahead and level up Jiju for 2,000. I don't really see a reason not to. Our upkeep is being reduced. I really ought to change. I could do this. I could boost our control since we've now gone negative. I'll do that for a turn. It's going to affect our income a little bit, but not too badly. Minus 25% income from slaves. Okay, that's good enough. And then
Murderous lord.
I could go ahead and start... Yeah, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some Black Ark growth here. Admiral Yin, nothing for you to do. Probably because... What? That doesn't make any sense. Sometimes the tooltips are just wrong. This is saying hordes must be on land in order to carry out construction. Well, that's not true for Black Arks, but I do need to be in the in a different stance. I need to be in. I forget now what the stance is that allows Black Arks to do building construction. Anyway, the reason why I'm able to do it right here with Admiral Doyle is because he is actually docked, even though he's in full speed stance. Okay, I think we've got everything straightened out here. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy really quickly. Probably not anything to do. No, well, we could still make peace here.
The sea and the
for 6,000. That's the most they've ever offered us for peace. If that army moves over here to block us or moves back into Fuchao, it might be worth considering. But for now, I still think we've got a pretty sizable advantage over them. I don't really see any reason to make peace. So let's go ahead. I guess we'll go ahead and do this. We could always cancel it if we need that money in the next turn or two. And meanwhile, ammunition for Dark Shards, Black Ark, Corsairs, and Reaper Bolt Throwers, plus a reload time reduction. That's really good. We'll take that. All right, let's go ahead and do an intern.
The Kraken Lord comes.
Okay, they're just going to offer us peace.
All you may do is beg for mercy.
3,000, yeah. If I wanted peace, I could have gotten 6,000 from you 2 minutes ago. Alright, so this is very interesting. It looks like the Eastern River Lords did not take that other settlement, so I don't really know what that's all about. We have Sacrifice to Authority here unlocked, and we have the Grow Your Forces mission objective now, and we got our Dark Elf Manors built. Faction encountered. We'll check all that out a little bit later. But for now, let's take a look at... We lost track of them, but we can see right here, this is still in the possession of the Dead Flag Fleet. If I hover over it, it doesn't say anything about it being encircled. Okay, let's go ahead. I've got two ways of doing this. I can go inland. Or I can travel by water here. If I go full speed, I don't know whether I can get there in 2 turns traveling by water. But we're going to try it because I don't think I want to suffer the attrition by coming inland. The difference is, by coming inland, I might be able to meet his main army in a field battle separate from the settlement battle. Whereas if I come via the water, it's much more likely he's just going to park inside the city, which is going to make this a much more challenging settlement battle. But we're going to try it anyway.
Obey! The wind isn't right.
Oh, well, I forgot. I'm going to do one more renaming here.
The
So,
tides are mine to command.
Jasha Gorderoth here. We're going to rename you, and keeping up with tradition, we're going to name Kadira. We're going to name a woman after Kadira. So there you go, Kadira. You are now a sorceress. Congratulations. Okay. Pretty sure you're a dude, but you didn't mind when I did it in the whatchamacallit, the XCOM campaign. Okay, so Linwake, yeah, so their army did move right back into the settlement. They could come out and attack us. They've got a lot of mortars here. Can't see what all they have here, but this army went from looking pretty weak a moment ago to being in march stance and yet somehow being really strong again. That's, of course, because of the raise dead mechanic, but they're not really as strong as I was concerned that they might be. Maybe those mortars are not as dangerous as I was afraid that they might be, but I do see that bloated corpse, and those things freaking terrify me after what happened in the previous episode. Okay, anyway, so now we're back to a reduction in campaign movement range. That was a bad time to have that happen. No wonder we weren't able to sail farther than that. And we're also getting a construction cost increase, recruitment cost decrease, and raised dead costs. Yeah, not good for us at all. Very good for our enemy. And then a plus 100% weapon strength bonus for battles. Whatever. It's fine. Let's go ahead. Admiral Yin, if we move you in regular stance here, this is called... It's just called... wait a minute. Yeah, I wanted... Dread Expansion is what I was trying to think of in the previous turn. Okay.
Later.
So if we go into Dread Expansion, would you be able to... Yes, you would indeed be able to level up some of these buildings. Certainly something that we might want to consider. This will increase our income and increase our casualty replenishment rate and increase our black arc growth. This unlocks some units for us. This would give us a little bit of additional slaves, a little bit of additional income. I'm going to lean very heavily towards casualty replenishment here and black arc growth here in the early going. Okay.
Black-hearted
And then from there, you probably will still be... Well, never mind. You can't reinforce with the black arc a siege battle, so never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
And Admiral Doyle, you are fine. We don't have enough money really to do any more recruiting. Right now, we are in the process of building this. I could speed it up with some slaves, but I don't think I want to burn through my slaves quite that quickly. Our control is plummeting. Why are we getting -5 control? I hate to spend this much time lingering over different things here, but I don't have an event that's giving me -5. And I don't know if this is some weird mechanic from SFO that's being listed as an event, but we can see no province of... Oh, never mind. It's that right there. Okay, never mind. I guess I guess I just had a brain fart there. Okay. So, actually, that is a much bigger deal than I was thinking it was. So, why did we drop... Oh, I know why we dropped. We must have had a diktat going previously that is no longer Did I spin slave? I don't think I spin slaves on a control dictat. No, I couldn't have. Why did we drop from -2 to -16? I don't understand. The vampiric corruption increased a little bit, I guess, but still, this was only -2 last turn. I don't know. I'm missing something pretty obvious, obviously. Well, that's definitely a big concern. I'm going to drop the collect income here because that's way the 160 that we would get is definitely way too negative in terms of our public order. So that buys us a little bit of time. We could potentially, right here, sacrifice to authority. We could get control +10 here. Lords have a chance to gain loyalty, which for Lokir, well, these Black Arcs, I don't need to worry about them. And the Dictat's cost does get reduced. Maybe we should try this. It's 530 slaves, but we desperately need the boost to our public order. And if I do that, I could conceivably turn back on collect income, although I don't think it's going to be worth it. Yeah, let's try it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do sacrifice to authority. Ooh, okay, this is new. This must be a change that SFO does. You get a dilemma. Chains of desire bind tighter than iron, and authority feasts upon the ruin of pleasure. Her worshippers drown in excess until only corruption remains. So we have increased income from slaves, triggers another dilemma with negative effects. Okay. Fear of authority, control +8, and own provinces where an army is present. I don't know whether a Black Arc it would be included. Slaves used by buildings is increased. Okay, that's a possibility, but it would be a little bit of a waste if the Black Arc doesn't count. Or at least for one turn, it won't have any effect. Standard of discipline, but -250 slaves, so we can't choose that one or do nothing. Okay, well, let's try this, and let's just, this is an experiment. Let's find out if the control +8 in own provinces where an army is present triggers based on the existence of a Black Arc. The answer is no. Okay, I was afraid of that, but yeah, as you can see, we have a Black Arc in Baichai here. We are not getting the additional +10 for the right. Okay, it's fine. Successful test, at least. We are now getting replenishment down here. Not exactly sure why we're getting replenishment in this army now, but I'll take it. Again, that's not what the right is doing, but I did take... I took something just not too long ago that increased replenishment. It must be that's having an effect, but I've already forgotten now what it was. All right, anyway, not important, Michael. Let's continue. So we'll wait and see what that army does next turn, but if it stays right there, that might be a little bit too much for us to take on with Lokir's army. We shall see. Okay. Maybe we'll start raiding instead. That's always a possibility. Maybe we'll wait
Dreadlord of Nagara.
For Admiral Yin's fleet to get built up a little bit more. And then what we could do, the only way that you can get a Black Arc involved in a settlement battle with two armies is if you actually launch the attack with the Black Arc army reinforced from land by a land army. So we could do that, but it would take a couple turns of maneuvering probably to accomplish. Okay, let's go ahead and check our diplomacy out. Best case scenario is he comes out and attacks us.
Enough prevaricating.
The other thing is we could get money from him, just not quite as much now. And let's go ahead and end our turn. All right, well, not only did he not come out to attack us, but he actually started a new army. Well, that's going to make things a little bit more interesting.
Acknowledged
Okay.
at last.
War declared between Chaos Dwarfs and Cathay there. Admiral Yin finished his Dark Elf residences, and Admiral Doyle got a rank. Very good. Okay. Our money situation is not looking
Vicious
fantastic,
Dreadlord.
but at least we're getting positive slaves every turn. Our public order is under control. You
Tyrant.
are actually for some reason suffering attrition here.
My most loyal
You're docked,
ally,
and yet
the
you're
sea.
suffering attrition. It's got to be the random effect here. All units in this army, so that's every army, presumably, will take 10% damage per turn, enables attrition, and a casualty replenishment. This is insane. These random effects, I like the chaotic nature of them. They are extremely overtuned. They are very, very powerful. I don't have a problem with it because you want them to feel impactful, and boy, are they. But yeah, it has certainly been crippling for us so
Look here,
far.
Bellheart.
So we're suffering attrition. Here's the thing. Yes,
is
the
not
good
warranted.
news is they are suffering attrition as well.
Not this, officer.
Somehow or another, they still have. Okay, what we're gonna do, because we
Bring
cannot,
fire and terror.
we
Against the
cannot
code.
with our
Fucking
20
bull.
units here, some of whom are damaged. I don't think we can
Not
take
this
on a
time.
walled city battle where they get buffs.
Can't be
And they have
done
25,
Not
26
this,
units,
officer.
including
against the code. That is not warranted.
3 characters. So, this is the difference again with turning the SFO settings on with the stronger garrisons. This is too difficult of a battle for us to be able to do, so this is a huge difference then between the way that this campaign is set up in a regular vanilla. I understand that it's not going to appeal to everybody, but it does appeal to me. I like it when a walled city that is heavily
Not this
defended
time.
by a garrisoning army, like this one is, it should be
Tides are mine to command.
a real significant challenge
Yes.
for a starting army like ours to do. So
Vicious
I think
Dreadlord.
mission accomplished in that
Black-hearted.
respect. So what we're going to do is we're going to take
Ply the
Loke
cruel
here. I
seas.
don't understand what's happening over here, but we're going to head back in this direction and see if maybe we can take that on instead. So full speed, that's fine. We're going to get up on land. We're going to suffer attrition anyway, so we may as well go ahead and move into enemy territory there.
Underway.
Let's just see how many casualties we suffer. If it's a ton, it's a pretty significant amount, but it's all going to come down to whether or not they move another army over here to help defend over there. Meanwhile,
Tyrant
what I
of
really want to
Naval.
do is I want to draw this army out. And you can see this army could attack in the water as far as here. So we're going to take
Murderous
Admiral
Lord.
Yin, and we're going to use him as bait again,
The
just like we
ocean
did
awaits.
a couple episodes ago. Yin, you have been doing a nice job
See my vessel.
of this.
Officer.
Let's get you just a
Lord
little
of the
bit
Black
backed up
Court.
here. Gonna back up to here, maybe. Right there.
Plotting a course.
Okay. So from there, we are close enough that that army can
Against
come out
the
and attack
code.
us. And based on what it did previously, I think it very well might do that again. And if so, obviously we will retreat. And what we're going to do
Black-hearted
is we're going to
Dreadlord.
clear.
We have a deal.
We're going to
Sail,
clear
damn
this
you.
port for Yin in case he gets chased all the way back to port. In fact, you know what?
I
Let's go ahead and
admire
put
your
you in.
darkness.
Oh, wait a minute. No,
A
I want
vile
you
plan.
at full speed. Oh, I can't do it because I've already done the full movement. That's fine. That's all right.
I
do you
approve
dread
of these
expansion then?
dark deeds.
Nothing to do, though. And then
Noble born.
Yin, you're fine where you're at. I'm not going to do any recruiting because I'm not happy with our money situation right now.
Corsairs
here.
to me.
I could even conceivably merge some of these, but not just yet. I actually have capacity for another... No, I don't. I thought I had capacity for another Reaver, Black Arc Reaver, but I do not. Okay. I think we'll figure something out. This is the advantage that the player has over the AI, is we should be able to outsmart and outmaneuver them eventually. It just might take a couple of tries. All right, let's go ahead and check our diplomacy out. Taking a look at how strong they are. We are still stronger than they are. And
You do not frighten me.
yeah,
I
they're
am denied.
offering us a little bit less money each turn at this point in order to have peace, but it's fine. We don't want peace anyway. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Sure enough, here he comes. Decisive defeat. We are going to
Disengage.
retreat, obviously. Okay. Pretty much worked the way we wanted it to. Now, the question is, can we lure him one more turn and then come down and attack Fu Chao? At the very least, okay, hero becomes a legend. We're halfway there. That's fine. We're suffering attrition. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's take a look first of all. I need to start getting in the habit of always looking at this every beginning of every turn. So attrition plus 100% casualties suffered from all attrition. So obviously this is very much a situation that we need to pay attention to. That is not good. Do we have any stances at all that would prevent us from suffering attrition?
Scour
Yes.
the land.
Yes, we do. Now, if we come this way, I think if I move down this direction, he's going to move back into Fu Chao, and he's still going to block us from taking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move in this direction with the expectation of we'll go ahead and take Shamai. I don't know what happened over here, but obviously the Eastern
We
River
must
Lords
wait.
did not take it. Okay, we're getting less replenishment over here, but that's fine. At least we're getting good money and good slaves, which is very good for us. And
Don't be
meanwhile, they
That is
can
not
only
warranted.
run as far as here, so we could still
Cruel
get
and
Admiral
deadly.
Yin up to.
Not this time.
Let's go ahead and
What?
move him here.
Set the sails.
And from here,
Not
no, we
this,
need to move a little
officer.
farther.
Sail, damn you.
From
Don't be
here,
done.
nope, we need to move
I
a little
admire
farther.
your darkness. The ocean awakes.
Against the code.
We can go just a
Dread
little farther.
Lord
The
of
thing is, I
Nagara.
do not want to
Anchors away.
not have enough room to
That is
completely
not
get away. If they
warranted.
attack us, I do not want them to. I do not want for us to retreat and for them to still be able to reach us. That's the key.
Dread
So I
Lord.
think we're safe where we are right there. Meanwhile, Lokir, you are now only a single turn away from Shammai. That's what we want.
Droopy
And Admiral
Lord.
Doyle, we want you to
We
go
have a
into
Double
full
time.
speed. Back up
Going
here. We're not
ashore.
going to use you in any battles until you start getting some units anyway. We are getting 107 slaves per turn. And our public order here looks okay. The event went away and has been replaced with now this demand highborn hostages, so that's all looking good. I'm still collecting my income now, and that's all helping. Okay. All right. Right here. Oh, you know what? Maybe that was the problem. I maybe was confusing the public order between the two different provinces. I'll bet you I was. Okay, it's fine. We'll just continue to not collect income here, and we are still getting the +9 per turn. That works for me. Yeah, okay. Reinforcement range plus 250%. That is huge. That reinforcement range increase, that means... Like, if this Black Ark was all the way down here in Bachai and they attacked us, that might even be considered close enough for us to reinforce all the way from there. Not sure. Okay. Do we want to level you up? 2,000 to do it? I don't think I want to do it. This is not really where I want to be spending money right now. No. We're getting good income, so we could afford it, but let me just take a look at what we would build with an additional building slot. We could build the Artisan's House, which would give us only 50 incomes. Really not worth it. This could give us growth and casualty replenishment rate, but so little of it that really not worth it. +1, well, really +3 control. If we built that, still really not worth it. We have a resource here we could build. That would be kind of nice. That's a high priority to build this brine and mining basin. But it's not such a high priority that it's worth spending 2,000 to level up that settlement right now, I don't think. Okay. Let's go ahead and try to do some recruiting here with Admiral Yin. Wow, that burns through our money really quickly. 1,500. Probably not going to get the chance to do the recruiting anyway, because he's probably going to force us to retreat, but that's fine. That is fine.
Sacrifices to Mathlan.
Meanwhile, we're looking at like we're in pretty good shape to take that next turn. Okay, let's go ahead then and...
Black-hearted.
I'm going to leave... No, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. Okay. And then we're going to check our diplomacy out.
Master of Misru. Nightclub.
And we're going to go ahead and do another end turn. Hopefully next turn we'll have a battle. All right, here we go. Sure enough. Still taking the bait, still chasing us. Close defeat? Yeah, I don't think so. This does not look like a close defeat to me, game. I have no idea what you're looking at. Okay, retreat.
Withdraw.
And... okay. Worked like a charm. All right, the first thing I'm going to check here, raiding season, we have... okay, that's all good. Benefits, it would have been nice to have had this start last turn, because we were actually raiding over the end turn. but it's fine. Casualties captured post-battle, that's good. Income from sacking settlements, faction-wide, okay. Once again, it is time for the Dark Elves to venture out to distant shores to plunder, pillage, and most importantly, gather slaves to fuel their war machine. The mines of Nagaroth always need new flesh. We are nowhere near Nagaroth, okay. Army retreats, construction complete, dark hold, trait gain seafarer, very good. And bolt cartridges, okay, that's good, that'll help us. And research 8 technologies, it's going to be a little while before we get that one done, but I do want to go ahead and keep track of it. Okay, always remember to check these out now. So hero and Lord recruit rank plus 10! Holy cow. It's almost worth disbanding a hero and re-recruiting him. But they are more expensive to recruit. Even so, wow. Miscast base chance plus 1,000%. Holy cow. Okay. So here's the thing. If we take Admiral Yin and we move him here into this settlement, that gives us 14.
Lord of the Black Court.
No, 15. Michael learned how to do
Dreadlord.
math. That would give us 15 units to defend against a size 18 army. I think we could we could reasonably expect to win that battle. So I think I will be doing that. I will move Yin into Baichai.
Dreadlord of Nagaroth.
But first, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get him close enough. I wanted to get him close enough to be able to support the attack here on Shammai with his bombardment spells. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Meanwhile, look at how, by the way, did you see how much we were getting over 1,100 in raiding because of this raiding season thing? Which is fairly appealing, but it's not as appealing as actually taking a new settlement. Minus 182. Why are they getting minus 108? This SFO thing is insane. It says minus 201 for characters, but this seems more like it would coincide with the random campaign condition that we were seeing two turns ago, not the one this turn. I don't know. I don't get it, game. I really don't. I like them. They really are impactful, but what I'm seeing does not really always seem to match up with what is actually what it tells me it's supposed to be doing. If I wanted to do this, but then just sack it instead of conquering it, we could get almost 2,000 in sack value, and then have 30% movement remaining. Which I don't see a campaign movement reduction for this stance. So presumably we would be able to sack and then also raid over the end turn. So that's a possibility. That is a possibility. Well, let's fight the battle first.
Kraken Lord.
And then we'll decide based on how this battle goes, maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to auto-resolve this. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't panic, people. I'm not going to auto-resolve it. Okay. Yeah, so regular old field battle. A little bit of cover. Do they have a spellcaster? That is a wizard. They do have a plus 1,000% miscast chance, which of course so do we. They have really, these handgunners are a good unit, and of course they have the Rotting Prometheans, which are a very good unit, but are only at half strength. I feel like we should be able to handle this battle fairly I don't say easily, but fairly easily. Okay, so let's set up maybe over here. We do have more range units than they do, but they do outrange us. I think that's fine. What we'll do, actually, I'm going to get the damaged ones as sort of a back line here.
Corsair handbows.
And let's go ahead. My Dread Spears are my most expendable unit as far as I'm concerned. Followed by these guys, but... well, not expendable, but I want them to be not quite as far forward as the Dread Spears. I want them, in other words, shooting at our Dread Spears, who are shielded, whereas our Black Ark Corsairs are not shielded. So we want to use the Dread Spears to hopefully start drawing fire. The Manticore, you can stay back, and I do want to check out this Black Ark Reaver here. Let's take a look at him. Let me move him into the light where we can get a better look at him here. If I can maneuver around him a little bit here. Looks pretty awesome. Great sword, so not shielded, obviously, but definitely a meleeer. I think we're prepared. Okay. So melee attack 55, melee defense 50. Low-Kier obviously is still stronger, so we're going to take the two of you, and we're going to put you kind of out in front. And we're going to take the sorceress, and actually, you're fine where you're at. Okay, let's go ahead and start the battle. We shall start moving forward here.
Bring me slaves!
I'm going to walk, but I'm going to speed up the... oh, you know what? They're coming towards us. Never mind. This is not necessary. Let's go ahead and maybe we'll stop right there.
Your will!
Let's let them keep coming towards us. Oh, nope, they're not coming towards us. Never mind. They only came out part way. So we shall keep advancing towards them after all.
Of course!
And speed up the timer here, the speed. I'm going to fly the Manticore over to this side, so it starts to look like we're going to have more of an emphasis on the left flank here. Let's go ahead and get the sorceress heading over that way as well. And in fact, the two of you can as well. We have Bloody Sacrifice. This is going to sacrifice slaves to contribute to Murderous Prowess. That's this meter up here. Let's go ahead and speed up. Alright, let's go ahead. They're still not reacting at all.
Dark elves. Without question.
We're slowly advancing our way, not quite inside their range. That's what I wanted. I wanted to see them start shifting over like that. Now we're going to bring you guys the Dread Spears. We're going to bring them around and actually into range to start drawing their fire. And then all of you all
Look here, Fellheart! Yes,
go ahead and
I
start
will.
coming forward.
My power
Get
is
you moving
yours.
forward, and you all like
Advance.
this. Manticore, you can stay back. Okay. She then needs to get her Spirit Leech off on Al the Slimy. Is that? Yep, that's his name. Al the Slimy.
Mercy!
Lokir and Zerdan. You can go ahead and just crash. Yeah, you take on those polearms, actually. Okay, you all need to head over there. Actually, not. Let's get you on those bombers. Over here.
Enemy mages! Wondrous slaughter! The winds are changing!
I do need you to pull back.
Corsairs!
I need you to get in here.
No survivors!
The bombers are what's doing it to us, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and get the Manticore forward now. Let's go ahead and get a debuff going on them over here. Here, you start using your magic
Bring
here.
me slaves!
Yeah, that's good. We got all those guys bogged down. I do need you to get to work your way around the enemy line and then over into these bombers right there. Okay, you are falling back. That's fine. As long as you're not destroyed. How we doing here? Look here.
It will be!
Let's get Look here ready to charge into this group back here as well. Another Spirit Leech coming soon. Manticore. Yeah, we should be able to make pretty short work of everything that's going on over there. Spirit. Oh, we don't have the Winds of Magic for Spirit Leech, so never mind. Let's take the three of you. Yeah, we need to kill these Rotting Prometheans here. Kill these Rotting Prometheans. I meant to remember to get the Dread Spears over there. Let's get the Spirit. Takes 10. Never mind. It's going to take too long to get the Winds of Magic for Spirit Leech. Okay, everybody over here, I think we got this pretty well in hand now. They're disintegrating. Yep. Okay. Across the board, we took light casualties. Nothing I'm going to worry about too much. Nothing like when we had the bloated corpse that blew himself up in the previous episode. There we go. Alright. Not much in the way of slaves, but now is where we have the option, which I think I will do. I think I will sack instead of occupying, because we're getting almost 2,000 in gold, which we desperately need, almost 200 slaves, 10% casualty replenishment, but unit replenishment, I should say, but also that gives us an extra turn then of raiding, and we're not going to get as much money as we would have as it showed at the start of the turn, but it should still be pretty decent money and slaves that we'll be getting from raiding. So let's go ahead and do that. Switch over here into a raiding stance. Yeah, we're getting almost 700, so it's obviously not the 1,100 that we were getting before, but still definitely worth doing. And meanwhile, it's giving us a little bit more replenishment. We're obviously still in position to be able to take the settlement next turn if we decide to. We also, since I'm in the process of raiding, I might as well go ahead and do this one. I'm going to take the third tier of Dreaded Slaver, but I'll do that next time. And for now, yep, that raised our money up a little bit. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to move Yin into the settlement. He's garrisoned. He's getting a little bit of replenishment. We'll try to do some recruiting. Actually, before I do that, let me see. Do I want to do this? Yes. 750 for that. I need 8 population surplus, or horde growth surplus here for the next level of that. I do want to do these at some point, but they are 2 population each, or 2 growth each. I think I'm going to hold off before I do that, just in case for some... No. Yeah. Yeah, I'll hold off just in case we lose this battle and Yin gets defeated.
Vicious
I don't want to lose
Dreadlord.
all the money for upgrading all of that stuff. And likewise, I don't want to spend the money on leveling this up. Do I have
Fear
access
my
to
malice.
any immediate recruitment like, oops, like Regiments of Renown? I do. Okay, that's a possibility. Is it worth 2,000 to recruit that into this settlement to make sure
Against the code.
that we can win this battle? I don't think it's necessary. I think we, with 15
Cruel
units,
and deadly.
including the buffs that this garrison will get because of the SFO option here for stronger garrisons, I think we
That
can
is not
defeat a size
warranted.
18 army. He's a level 5 lord. This is another thing that I dislike about SFO. It's not a huge deal, and it really only matters at the beginning of a campaign. Later on, it doesn't matter. But I do not like that
Not
AI
this, officer.
characters start at level 5 when here I am
Malevolent
running
Lord,
around with
Lord
characters
of the Black
that have been in the game for longer,
Dread
like
Lord of
has been in the
Nagara.
game since the beginning of the game and only level 3. So I just don't
Not
understand
this
why
time.
SFO does that, but whatever. Like I said, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and we'll invite this if they decide that they do want to make this attack. That's fine.
By the
Meanwhile, we'll
cruel
just
seas.
plan on taking this next turn. We're tracking all of our mission objectives. Okay. I'll worry about the technology, and then we'll do the intern at the beginning of the next episode. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. By the way, I have next character that gets recruited is going to be Ovahero. So hopefully I will remember to do that in the next episode. But all right, anyway, thanks, everybody, so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.